Seconded, I believe. Honorable members, various very grave issues have been raised against the council and in regard to this project. I stand before you here as the former treasurer of the Law Society of Kenya. I'm not in the current council. I'm not here to answer anyone's brief. I've not been asked by anyone to speak. I'm speaking from what I know. I was in the IAC committee when the project began. I have perused the documents that have been prepared by the team led by Jacqueline Manani. I have perused the documents that have been prepared by the project consultant and manager, and I want to make some responses to some of the issues that have been raised. You have heard those issues that have been raised by Jacqueline Manani. I request you to please bear with me as I try to respond on those issues so that you can make a balanced and fair decision. The first issue.
Please. My brother Charles Kanjama is quite in order to make his contribution. Please allow me to contribute.
I will give first the general response. The general response is this. The project has reached the stage of feasibility study. Feasibility study has been done. When you are doing feasibility study, you use a prudence concept. What does that mean? You ensure you do not underestimate expenses or overestimate incomes. Once you've done the feasibility study and you're persuaded the scope and magnitude of the project is a go, you must ensure you secure the consent of the equity contribution or the owner of the project. Once you do that, the next step is to procure the detailed drawings, designs, and bills of quantities by the quantity surveyor. At the stage of the detailed bills of quantities, whatever erroneous projections have been made in the sense of overestimating expenses or underestimating incomes should be corrected. After the quantity surveyor does the detailed bills of quantities, it has not yet been done for this project. The last communication I saw is that it was going to be done within the next 2 weeks. After that is done, you then get all those documents and you do an open tender. You invite the Chinese contractors, you invite the Indian contractors, you invite the Kenyan contractors and they bid. And anyone who's involved in construction knows nobody will try to inflate the project because the competition is very high. At that stage, you get the actual figures for the project. If indeed it is true that the projections are totally false, they are overestimated, at the time of that, I'm not finished. At the time of that,
Okay, we shall allow one point of order, yeah? But allow me to tell you this, yeah? Please limit your time of, if you can, lawyers are supposed to summarize. So can I have that point of order, please? And let it be a point of order.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. My name is Ndegwanjiro. I practice law in the name and title of Ndegwanjiro and Company Advocates. I just want to Mr. Kanjama to tell us on what basis he's responding and whether or not he's trying to presuppose that the motion on floor is prematurely brought.
what is the truth about this project? And I want to assure members, I have an answer to each and every issue she has raised. But to address those issues, I need at least 10 minutes. If the members are not ready to give me that time, then I leave it to your conscience. And I request the members, because I can see there is a small group here at the front that is shouting. I request the members to take this into consideration when voting on this matter. So if I'm not able to speak on each and every one of those issues and to show how erroneous the claims are, I will finish with just two things. But if you allow me, I can go to each and every one of them. Everyone.
He will have 2 minutes. He will have 2 minutes, and he will conclude his discussion.
This morning, I received, someone handed it to me on the floor of the House, a report by PKF called Project Concerns and Facts, Construction of LSK International Arbitration Center. This report, I believe, was prepared overnight. I'm aware that Jacqueline Manani's team prepared a report, which I received yesterday. And I also read it last evening. I'd already opposed several of the claims she made on social media one day when I spent on Facebook. This report answers comprehensively each of her issues. The building cost is not as she has claimed, the cost per square meter. They have used wrong assumptions. Some of them are so glaring when you look at this report that to me I weep that we have reached this stage that we are not able to give a hearing. But because I am not allowed to speak, I'll just tell members, have an opportunity to look at this. For now, because I have 1 minute to go, I will touch on the question of the propriety of making this motion and the implications. The propriety of making the motion, I have also been given a document. This is by Jacqueline Manani's team, and it includes a copy of the court order. I was not involved in that process, but I clearly see that prayer number 1 is saying conservatory orders be and are hereby issued, staying all the resolutions made by the respondents in general meeting, special general meeting held at Hilton on 27 September, pending the hearing and determination of this petition or further orders of the court. Does that make this motion sub judice? Each of us as lawyers can make an interpretation. My belief is it does. Finally, for the remaining half a minute, I've spoken about the implications. I now want to speak about what has happened with this project. Already a lot of time and effort has been spent and some money has been incurred. This project is meant to contribute a positive cash flow of Kenya shillings 1 billion to the society over 10 years. In the event, the chairman will control me. In the event you decide to abandon the project, the existing costs which have already been incurred, and because the consultants have already been given after the SGM, which I don't hold brief for, have been given leave to go ahead and do the detailed drawings, the possible exposure of the society in contractual obligations of things incurred is about Kenya shillings 80 to 100 million. If with that knowledge you want to continue and stop the project, be my guest.